absolutely thrilled that you're here and that we're ready to make a difference in the world together. Welcome on to Bold Money Challenge Day 5. It's going to keep doing a mic check until somebody tells me that they can hear me. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. All right, guys. Okay, perfect. I think there was just a little bit of a delay. I think that's what that was. I think there was just a little bit of a delay. So welcome on to Bold Money Challenge Day 5. We are rocking and rolling today. I'm thrilled to be live with each and every one of you. And let's make sure that we've got everything that you need to be ultimately successful today. All right, welcome you guys. I see you active and ready to rock and roll in the group. All right, let's jump in and play full out. I want you guys running multiple screens, multiple devices, however it is that you need to do that. All right, however it is that you need to do that. My coaching, my encouragement to you would be that you have a computer or that you have a tablet and that you have a phone, that you have multiple devices, because I would love for you to be streaming on livewithallison.com. And then I'd also love for you to be a part of our chat group, which is at www.moneymovementlive.com. 3 words, moneymovementlive.com. Go ahead and jump in and join the movement. Let's all do something miraculous today for ourselves. And let's start with being engaged inside of our group. We use group engagement because I think it's very, very, very easy to sit back and to say to facilitators, why don't you do all the work, right? And the reality is we want everyone to do the work together, and we want to all be led by our intuition, stepping into abundance, having an extraordinary time, having so much fun inside of this group. So go ahead and join us. If you're not a part of the group, here's what it looks like. You go to moneymovementlive.com. It gives you an option to join a Facebook community. That is our community called Money Movers. People that believe if you do good that you should live well, and if you live well you should do good. And so that's the really, really, really great thing about being a part of the group. So can you, just so you know, if you're posting in the group, you've already joined, so you're already a part of the group, so you don't have to join. You can just start posting just as I go. You're already live in the group. All right, so that's how that works. So go ahead and jump into the group. What I believe is that you can, this is what I truly believe. I believe that you can attract wonderful things to your life and open yourself up for limitless possibilities. That's honestly what I believe. And I like to open up this dialogue. It's why the Bold Money Challenge exists, so that we can have a dialogue around what's really wonderful, what's really available, and what's really happening for and through and to our lives. I want you to do your first post at Money Movement Live. And the first post that I want you to throw up there is, I am worthy of receiving the best in life, and use the hashtag BoldMoney16. I am worthy of receiving the best in life, and use the hashtag BoldMoney16. All right, great. The next post that I want you to throw in the group is, I am valuable, I am lovable, I am terrific. I think that this, one of the things that I notice is, women really flow really well when it comes to posting the affirmations. I notice a little bit of resistance around our man movers. And I think that, men have a really easy time bragging, but when it comes to affirming things that can seem soft about us, our value, our love, our awesomeness, I experience, I can't say that it's real, experience men to have a little bit of a withhold in that. And my invitation that are on is release that withhold and speak to your values, speak to your quality, and overcome whatever inhibition shows up for you. What is an inhibition? It's a withhold that tells you something isn't necessary when it can actually provide value for you. Challenge to your masculinity based on the way you've been thinking, but it actually is an expansion to your humanity. And so it may challenge your masculinity in that you're like, oh, that doesn't seem macho or brave or whatever that may be, or I'm not posting that, that's not necessary for me, but yet humanity. And so my invitation to you is that you would step into the deep with us, because we have a lot of man movers on. There are, you know, hundreds of you that are live with us right now, thousands that will participate via replay. And I notice all the women post, but then when it comes to our help desk emails and the testimonials that we get and all of our inboxes, we get a lot of you men saying, I was on, it was wonderful, this is what it did for me, but for whatever reason you won't share on the public platform. The really is a great place for other people to find their communities and to find their next business partner and to find their next joint venture partner and to find their next client and to find their next business friend. Think about how many other man movers are out there that, oh, wow, are there other men that are growing inside of this group, and they will experience the freedom to do that because you experience the freedom to do that. Invitation, man movers, is step out there, be bold, be unapologetic, share your truth, and rock and roll with us. And a lot of women, we're 84% women in this group, so there are, so it's easy for our posts to overrule you, but the more that you start posting, the more it's going to attract more men to start posting and be active on a day-to-day basis throughout these challenges sessions. So I am lovable, I am valuable, I am terrific, hashtag bold money 16. Next one, I am a money magnet, hashtag bold money 16. You are in a bold money challenge. For those of you that have just jumped on, I am Allyson Byrd, Profit Accelerator, host and founder, creator of boldmoney16.com. You may have just found out about us because YouTube is streaming us live. You may have found out about us because someone shared on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. You may not know what we do, but stick around for a few moments. You're definitely going to get in the flow. One thing that I want to invite you to is to join us in our live chat thread that we've got in a private and exclusive Facebook community at moneymovementlive.com. It's 3 words, moneymovementlive.com. Go over there. Once you jump in, all you have to do is click join. You join our community, and then you're able to start posting with us and engaging. One of the reasons that we do that is because I like for you to be engaged in the learning. I believe if you want maximum value, you must fully participate. Here's another post I'd like for you to throw out there. This is a phenomenal setup to a Friday. On Fridays, people want to unwind, they want to relax, they want to start the weekend already. And as entrepreneurial leaders, our weekend can happen anytime. Our weekend can be scheduled on a Wednesday, our weekend can be scheduled on a Thursday, our weekend can happen on a Monday afternoon. As an entrepreneur, you can have a life of freedom. And so my encouragement is that on a Friday, you know, don't get into that lull unless you've already scheduled some downtime or maybe some family time. It's the beginning of summer for a lot of you with kids. But if you are really a part of this Bold Money Challenge and wanting to be active, then my request of you is that you would jump in, playful out, and these affirmations can really help you find your courage. I am blessed every day, hashtag bold money 16. One of the things that I experience of virtual audiences is that when they have a virtual leader, myself, Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, Lisa Nichols, Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Leo, when they have virtual leaders, they esteem the virtual leader, and the may or may not encourage you to esteem yourself. And one of the things that I always look for is, how can I get you self-endorsing and not looking for the next retweet on Facebook, the next, click of like, next retweet on Twitter, the next click of like on Facebook. How can I get you self-endorsing? One of the reasons why I love affirmations is because it gets you thinking differently about you. How many of you wake up every day with these kinds of statements? I am successful. I am strong. I am good with money. I am blessed every day. I am a money magnet. I am valuable. I am lovable. I am terrific. How many of you every single day, that's the kind of dialogue that you're having with yourself about yourself? If you have not made this a practice, I am inviting you into a new possibility of freedom and self-love and affirming that can help you break through to the other side. Next one, I am able to help others. I think the little engine that could. The little engine that could was derailed, and the first train says, oh, I would never help you. The second train says, I can't help you. I'm not good enough to help you. The first train was in judgment of the smaller engine saying, you're not good enough for me to help you. The second train was in judgment of itself, saying, I'm not good enough to help you. I don't have enough. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough talents. And how many times do we leave help to others? I could never do something. Why could you never do something? It's not real. You are able to help others, and you're able to do it not always through your bank account, and not always is your bank account necessary. Sometimes it's your voice. Sometimes it's your time. Sometimes it's your talent. But somewhere you have a treasure that you can bring to the table and you can make a difference for others. The next one that I want you to post is I am grateful. Hashtag bold money 16. How grateful are you for where you are? Be grateful for the money, the resources, the home, the car, the career, the job, the company, the small business, the virtual platform, be grateful for where you are. So many people cancel out their universal flow of goodness without because they're not in gratitude of what already exists for my life. I got to get to the next thing. I got to get to the next level. I'm on my way to the next level. Always announcing, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. What about being in gratitude for where you are and saying, where I am today is enough, and I'm thrilled about it, and I'm thrilled about what I'm going to create in the world, and I'm so grateful for what exists today. I'm grateful that I'm not living in my car. I'm grateful that I'm not living on the street. I'm grateful that I'm in my home. I'm grateful that I'm in my bed. I'm grateful that there are clothes on my back and shoes on my feet. I'm grateful that I can see. I'm grateful that my hands move and work. I'm grateful that my voice can be heard. I'm grateful that I can type. I'm grateful that my cell phone bill is paid. I'm grateful that my children are in college. I'm grateful that I have a business partner that I trust. I'm grateful that I can get on a platform like Money Movers and be reminded of who I am and why I am. I'm grateful for resources like YouTube that can give me education and knowledge without any other investment but my time. I'm grateful for programs and conferences like Unconference that can get me around a group of people that think like me and think differently, that can stretch me and enlarge my territory and my capacity. I'm grateful for platforms like Facebook that make the world smaller and bring us together. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my mother. I'm grateful for my father. I'm grateful for my cousins and my aunts. I'm grateful for my friendships. I'm grateful for happy hour I'm going to this afternoon. I'm grateful for the ability to plan that something good is coming to me. I'm grateful. Spend time in gratitude. There's so much to be grateful for. There's so much to be thrilled about life. And many times as we're planning and planning and planning and planning and planning, and so many people are challenging us to that next level, we can forget to be grateful for the level where we are and from where we came. I want you to post in the Money Mover group right now. I am a money mover, and I want you to insert your Facebook like page. Hashtag break the internet. Hashtag bold money 16. I'm a money mover. Hashtag break the internet. Hashtag bold money 16. I want you to go ahead and post, go ahead and share so that we can find ways to know you, to like you, to be a part with you. So I want you to go ahead and jump in and take care of that right now. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so Kyra, you're saying that the sound is going in and out, but I think that might only be your internet. I just did a sound check with the team, and I'm not getting any other reports that the sound is going in and out. Let's see. All right, perfect, awesome. All right, wonderful. All right, you guys. So the next thing that I want you to post is, today I'm playing full out. Hashtag break the internet. Hashtag bold money 16. Today I'm playing full out. Hashtag break the internet. Hashtag bold money 16. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm always going to play full out. And guess what occurs for me? As I play full out, I get the result of what it looks like to play full out. Now, if you don't play full out, you get the result at the measure in which you dole out. If you are someone that parses out, like you give out your pieces of self, that's up to you. My commitment is that I'm going to teach, I'm going to coach, I'm going to train to give you breakthrough around your money blind spots and master your mindset for maximum prosperity. You don't want to play full out, that's up to you. What does it look like to play full out? Participating in the challenge, posting in the group, making sure that you're doing the work. It's not enough to just get the learning and say that the work doesn't matter. Because that's like saying, I'm going to open up the business, but I'm never going to show up. I'm never going to have anyone at the counter. I'm not going to install a phone. All I'm going to do is go start my DBA, right? I'm going to go get my DUNS number. I'm going to get my EIN number. I'm going to have business credit. I'm going to have a, I'm going to have I'm going to have all the different things, but I'm never going to do the business of business. Well, guys, what sense does that really make? Playing full out means you show up without apology. You lean in with anticipation for what is to occur for you. Now, I want you guys to know I love this. I love for you to cross platforms. We're playing right now inside of our isolated platform of our Money Mover group. Let's all step out together and let's all go to Twitter. Open up Twitter. I asked you earlier, have a phone, have a tablet, have a computer, have multiple devices. So jump on over to Twitter and let's refuse to grow alone. And let's go ahead and post, I'm mastering my bold money. Join me now. I'm mastering my bold money. Join me now. Go ahead and post that with the www.livewithallison.com link. Here's the thing. Let's refuse to grow alone. Let's create a movement around this so that more people can jump on. Whenever you guys tweet, all of a sudden we see double, triple numbers that jump up of people that start to come on to the livewithallison.com link. Whenever you guys share, it makes a massive difference in the experience. All right, go ahead and post in the group right now. I refuse to do it alone. I need you with me. Hashtag bold money 16. I refuse to do it alone. I need you with me. This is a proclamation to the group. This is a proclamation to our community that we're all doing this together. Let's refuse to do it alone, and let's be okay with needing other leaders to be with us. All right, I invited you to share. I'm going to invite you to share again. Share on now your own Facebook. And you may go, Allyson, you're moving so fast. Guys, this is the speed of business. Let's go. It's go time. Let's have a lot of fun. Let's have a lot of fun. I said at the beginning, I think I was pretty slow. I said, hey, open up multiple screens. Let's get going. Let's make it happen. I think I gave you time to put your roller skates on. All right. I gave you time. If you haven't learned how to balance on that hoverboard yet, I gave you a little time at the beginning. But let's go ahead and share www.livewithallison.com. Go ahead and share. I am mastering my bold money, and invite people to livewithallison.com. I'll give you a few minutes to make that happen. All right, guys, I gave you just a few minutes to catch up there. Just a few minutes. This is Allyson Byrd, your Profit Accelerator. If you're just jumping on because you just saw something on Twitter, on Facebook, we are mastering our bold money here. If you hear my theme song kind of playing in the background, all right, guys, that's my theme song every day. Every day that I wake up, I'm excited. I am so excited about the opportunity to master bold money every single day. Post in the group, I'm filled with success. I am filled with success. These kinds of things are the things that I want you waking up every day. Imagine if this is how you coached your children. Imagine if this is how you would have been coached as a child growing up. Hey guys, good morning. Let's wake up. We're going to say our 7 affirmations of the day. We're going to start out with, I am filled with success. All right. And then everyone in the family says, I am filled with success. All right. Next, we're going to say money comes easily, frequently, and abundantly into this house. I mean, just imagine how you would have grown up differently with a concept around money, around flow, around abundance, around grace, around ease. What could have been different for you? And here's the thing, is it too late? Allyson, I'm 29 years old. Is it too late? Hell no. Allyson, I'm 34. Allyson, I'm 54. Allyson, I'm 75. Is it too late for me to start unlearning some things that no longer serve me today, and then relearn and adapt to what I'm relearning, or get remembered or reconciled to what I've always known in my spirit to be true, but I didn't have any evidence around me to prove it. I had a whisper in my soul that this wasn't the way I was supposed to live, that this wasn't how it was supposed to go down. I had a whisper in my soul that, wait a minute, I don't know if I'm supposed to be stuck in this job. I don't know why I feel stuck. Other people I know don't feel stuck. They love going to work, or they may not love it, but they don't want to change it. But every day I want to change it. Every day I have a new idea. Every day I feel a concept brewing in the belly of my soul. Every day my purpose begins to overwhelm me. Every day, some days I sit in the bank and it feels like my head is swelling with ideas that can change the world. Some days I sit and I'm listening to my children and my husband, and I'm listening to my wife, and I zone out because I go into what's possible. And then I hear them, daddy, 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 mom, 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 or the phone rings or the text, and I go, oh, I was in my future again. Every day it's happening for me, Allyson. Every day I knew, and every day I know something more could be occurring for me, but I'm not really clear on the sequence of actions in which to make that happen. How many of you can relate to that kind of thinking, where you feel your purpose is swelling inside of who and why you are, calling and demanding and asking you for bigger in the world? Well, let me tell you, you came to the Bold Money Challenge to say, it's not only your time, but it's your turn. And you must elevate from ideas into execution. And whatever it takes for you to get there, if it takes you coming to Unconference in July, if it takes you jumping on challenges like this, if it takes you listening to the replays 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, remembering that repetition is the mother and the father of all learning. that you get that this is the time for you to not only follow your dream, but now to make your dream a reality and then lead the dream into its ultimate fulfillment in the world. Next thing I want you to post is, I am the creator of my success. I am the creator of my success. Own your I am. I am the creator of my success. This is what we do here. This is how we make a difference. This is how we step up boldly and unapologetically. Welcome to those of you that have just jumped on. If you saw that we're live on Twitter, if you saw that we're live on YouTube, if you saw that we're live on someone's Facebook page, welcome. I'm Allyson Byrd, your Profit Accelerator. We are in the final day of our Bold Money Challenge. We have been in 5 days of having new dialogue around showing up and rocking it out in regard to who and why we are, and owning bold money. You'll grab the concept, you'll get it, you'll step into the flow. But one of the things that I want you to do is I want you to jump into our Facebook group. And the way that you do that is you go to our exclusive URL, moneymovementslive.com, www.moneymovementslive.com, and you participate with us there. What holds us back, we talked about this yesterday, is that one of the greatest enemies of our profit acceleration, which is what I teach in the world, and for those of you that will be with me in July 29th and 30th, Super VIP will be here with me in my home in San Antonio on the 28th at 4 o'clock. So the bus will pick you guys up at 3:15, and then you'll come over to my home. We'll have dinner together. We'll have a great time, and then we'll do a mastermind after that. For those of you that are not super VIP, you are VIP, you will start at 9 p.m. We moved it from 8 to 9 on Thursday, July 28th, and then we start all of our sessions on July 29th at 9 a.m. So we talk about this idea of profit acceleration when you're here, and I'm teaching you profit hacking. And one of the things that I know about, when you hack into a computer system, I don't know how many of you have Netflix. Netflix just recently got hacked, and I started getting a ton of alerts from the UK, from Canada, all these different places where people were trying to get into my Netflix account to get my personal information. When you hack, it's a way to bypass the normal process of access, right? How much time it would take. Well, one of the things that I love to teach is profit hacking. And I like to teach it because what it would take normally, when I started my business on 2 things: ambition and air. I didn't have a Dun and Bradstreet number. I didn't have business credit. I didn't have enough credit for myself at the time. All I had was a little bit of courage and a little bit of money in my bank account, a little bit over $10,000. And I thought, well, here we go. And I'd heard so many stories about people that had overcome and been successful. And I think what a lot of people don't say, or I can't really say people don't say it. Let me take that back. I think what a lot of people don't hear, including myself, when I was on my rise and listening to people tell their story, I think we gravitate to the glory and we forget the guts of the story. We gravitate to the glory and we forget the guts. And they're telling us the guts, but we forget it. They're telling us, because I tell my guts all the time, and I say, listen, I would not coach anyone to do what I did. I left BlackBerry. I left a 6-figure successful career. I loved my 2 American Express accounts. I loved my weekly deposits. I loved flying on the company dime. I loved that anytime I swiped that card, all I had to do was get my assistant to put it on a spreadsheet and it was paid for. And then all of a sudden, when I owned my own company, I had to be the one to fill the spreadsheet. I had to be the one to put it in the P&L, and I had to be the one to look at the fact that my profit and loss statement was more loss than it was profit. So I tell people all the time, that's not a skinny branch I encourage anyone to jump out on, not the way that I did it, because I don't think it was the smartest solution. I believe a transition plan is a really smart way for you to go and grow. Now, what holds us back is our relationship to acceleration is what holds us back, which is why I teach hacking. Because when I got in, all I could read was, it's going to take you 5 years. It's going to take you 5 years. It's going to take you 5 years. I said, well, hell, I'm gone. I done already quit. So what am I going to do? I've already quit. My mindset has already shifted. My mom used to say it this way. We would talk to my mom on payday. And my mom was so funny because she got paid every other Friday. And so my mom would say, all right, guys, what are we going to eat? We knew we would have we would call it a smorgasbord for that Friday. And so we would get a smorgasbord from one of our favorite restaurants. There was Fajita Junction. Oh my God, it's going to make me cry thinking about it. I didn't even know I was going to tell this story. We would go to Fajita Junction, and my mom loved beef fajitas, grilled to perfection with onions and guacamole. And oh my God, and my sister loved sour cream, and the tortillas would be fresh, and the rice and beans. Or we would go to this place called, I'm trying to remember the name of the place. It's right on Broadway, but it was an Asian restaurant. And my mom would get shrimp egg foo young. And so it was shrimp and egg. And then I always wanted lemon chicken. I was a little girl, right? I was so basic. And my sister wanted orange chicken, or we would order pizza. There was always these ideas. We would think, what are we going to do? And every other Friday we would think about it. Well, my mom, we would say that morning, all right, we're going to have Chinese. And then that afternoon, I might call my mom and go, Mom, can we have Fajita Junction instead? And listen to what my mom would say. My mom would say, Al, my family calls me Al. And so my mom would say, Al, I already got my mouth set for Chinese. And I go, well, Mom, can't you reset your mouth? And she'd go, no, I already have my mouth set for that. Well, I'm with my niece the other day, and my niece is 8. And many of you know my mom ascended into heaven almost a year ago. Influence to my niece. And I said, we're going to go eat at X place. And then later I said, hey guys, do you guys want to go here already? And you know what my niece says? My niece says, my mouth was already set for that, Nee. And I just looked at her and I said, where did you get that from? And she said, what? I said, where did you get that statement from? And she's like, I don't know. And my nephew goes, Gaki would always say that. My mouth is already set. It made me laugh so hard. Here's what I remember thinking when I had left BlackBerry. And, as I wipe tears from my face just thinking about that, it's so funny how legacy can just pass down. But here's what I remember thinking when I left BlackBerry. I thought, my palette is already set for entrepreneurship and freedom. Like, I'm already ready for it. What am I going to do? I can't go get a job. I can't go interview with somebody looking at me saying, are you qualified? I would walk in saying, listen, you going to give me this job or not? Because I can do other things. Like, my palette was already set for what was next. And so I couldn't do anything different but make entrepreneurship work. So I didn't have 5 years. I had 5 weeks until I needed to pay rent, until light bill needed to be paid, until the car payment needed to be done. Many of you know my story of having to overcome that and being on the cover of magazines and traveling all around and getting flown to New York and speaking on stages. And still I was on food stamps, and I felt like I was the greatest fraud on the planet because I had not mastered what it looked like to create profit for my business. Get this, I had not mastered making money. I had not mastered building a business that made money. And so I sure as hell couldn't master what profit looked like. The progressions go being a money maker, building a business that makes money, moving into a stage of profit, and then becoming a money mover, because now money can move through you and do good in the world. Money doesn't have to stay and stick to you because you're surviving on it. Oh, I'm preaching good today, guys. Man, I'm in it to win it. I'm just here to tell you, I am in it to win it. So one of the enemies to profit acceleration, what I call cash killers, are things that appear as opportunities for something better, sexier, even more urgent in the moment. Yet cash killers are time wasters, dream suckers, and life snatchers. And one of the things that I experienced to be one of the greatest cash killers is procrastination. And I talked about it yesterday because you slow yourself down saying, I'm getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. I'm getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. I'm going to that next level. I'm going to that next level. Listen, stop saying that. Just stop, 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 stop. Don't say it. You can name that level, what that level is. You know what? I'm going to the next level in profit acceleration. I'm going to the next level of operational mastery. I'm going to the next level of scripting excellence. I'm going to the next level. Put an end to that. What's the next level? I'm just going to call y'all out because some of you just have dialogue for dialogue's sake and your words don't perform. And today I'm going to teach you on words that perform, words that have life, words that can put feet on your destiny and get you from where you are to where you want to be. Why do I have you constantly affirming in the group? Is because these words that I give you have feet and they can get up and walk and they can change your world and shape your reality. So I want you to post in the group right now, put some feet on it. Universe, I am worthy of receiving more. Hashtag bold money 16. Now, you're not convincing God, you're not convincing source, you're not convincing light, you're not convincing, however you acknowledge the divine, you're not convincing the divine. The divine is clear. You're convincing yourself here. You're having a dialogue with yourself, about your own personal worthiness. That's what you're doing right now. All right, so when I talk about words that work, scripting is one of my favorite things because what it does is it puts feet on the solution that you're asking for. Scripting puts feet on the solution that you're asking for. One of the best ways to increase your sales results is to create a powerful selling script. It is one of the best ways. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't shared on Twitter, if you haven't shared on Facebook in the last 7 minutes, go ahead and jump on to your Twitter or to your Facebook and say, I am mastering my bold money. You better join me, www.livewithallyson.com. This is the final day of Bold Money 16. And so I want to make sure no one's missing the opportunity to get in on this knowledge because what I'm sharing right now, we normally share in a 2-day course, and that 2-day course we sell for $2,000 a seat, and sometimes we discount that to $997. So the fact that you are not paying $1,000 and you're getting a sneak peek into this right now, the fact that you're getting this is already showing you that your bold money affirmations are working in your favor. So go ahead and tweet, share on your own Facebook. You know, some of you accidentally post inside the Money Mover group when I say this, but Money Movers are already invited. So jump in and invite someone who's not invited on your own Facebook, on your own Twitter, on your own Instagram. Take a screenshot of what we have up and tell people, I'm mastering my bold money. Join me now at www.livewithallyson.com, and let's continue to grow the community. One of the reasons that I experience people to be resistant or reluctant to scripting is because they don't yet understand that structure is the ultimate path to freedom. I mean, it really is. And so the more structure that you have, the more freedom that you're actually able to develop for yourself. And so a script is simply a sequence of words that make sense. So when you look at what isn't a script, I love this word that I never know if I say it correctly, right? But it's glossolalia. I think that's how you say it. I'm almost certain. Glossolalia. So glossolalia is how schizophrenics speak, and they speak in what's called word salad. I love this. They say things like chair, book, car, dog, computer, and they don't say it like that's the order in which they say it. Chair, book, car, dog, computer. These words, when spoken in that sequence, mean nothing. So you are either using a script or you're using glossolalia. So let me give you an example. You walk into a networking event, right? And people walk up to you, hey, how are you? And you go, I'm good. And then they say, what do you do for a living? And you go, chair, book, dog, car, computer. And they go, huh? And you go, chair, book, car, dog, computer. And they're like, oh, wow, nice to meet you. And you go, would you like my card? And they go, oh, okay. And then you go to the next person and they go, wow, it's really great to meet you. Tell me what you do in the world. And you go, chair, book, car, dog, computer. And they're like, oh, okay. And the way that this shows up is word salad. When you guys start trying to stammer over what you do, well, I'm in health and wellness, and I'm in a network marketing company, and the way that we do it is we're recruiting people, but if you don't want to be on the team, you can just buy the product because it could be for weight loss. And then they go, well, I really don't want to lose weight. Well, that's okay, because it can also just give you energy. But won't it make me lose weight? I don't want to lose weight. Yeah, but no, it'll just make you have energy. Word salad, chair, book, dog, car, computer. What do you do for a living? Well, I'm in financial services and we help people build wealth. And oh, wow, that's really great. Yeah, can we do some work with you? Well, I don't really need that work right now. Well, we can actually help you start to build your portfolio. And well, I don't really know. I don't think I understand that. Well, I could come and we could have lunch. I can buy you coffee, chair, book, dog, car, computer. You get it? You're not having a script and a sequence that navigates people from where they are to where, listen to me, you want them to go. You have to start telling people where you so that your scripting gets people from where they are to the solution that you bring to the table. Here is your reality. You've been speaking in scripts since you learned to thread sentences together. The question, however, is the script powerful, and does it create the results that you desire? That's the question. Because you're already speaking in scripts, just putting words together well, you're already doing it. Now the question is it language of power? So why scripts? Well, one reason only, predictability. Why scripts? So that you can predict the success that you can have when it comes to what you say. Listen, every day that I'm with you guys, I'm on script. Every single day, I'm on a script. Every day I know what I'm going to say. I know how I'm going to say it, because every day the night before, I'm like, okay, I taught on this today. These are the testimonials that are coming through. These are the breakthroughs that are occurring. And guess what? I think that this is what else that they need to hear. Now, we pre-wrote everything, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, and then I've adjusted the scripting every single evening so that I could know exactly what to say to you based on what was coming in. So your transformation, I've got to pay attention to, I've got to first be prepared, and then I've got to adapt based on what's really happening inside the group, what you guys are saying, how you're engaging, how you're not engaging, under engaging, and then shifting things from there. So scripts change the sales conversation and open the door for deeper connection, collaboration, and conversion. One of the reasons people feel highly manipulated in sales is because sales is typically positioned as, let me ask you a question, let me hold the answer behind my back, and when you answer the way I answer, then I pull it out from behind my back and I go, ta-da, gotcha. And that doesn't feel good to anyone. Doesn't feel good to anyone. And so scripting allows you to open the door for deeper connection, collaborative conversation, and conversion that actually gets you to a successful close with the sale. What kinds of scripts exist? Well, I think that the list is exponential in terms of scripts that exist. But if I look at what priorities would be there, it would be scripts on objections and sales roadblocks, breakthrough business, getting client referrals, sales acceleration, conversion, building rapport, understanding the client's personality. These are all variables of scripts that you can build. Wait a minute, Allison, I thought I just needed one sales script. I don't know where you got that knowledge, but it's antiquated, and you want to rise, and you want to actually be in now money now success now greatness now, and that requires that you diversify. And so a script that allows you to identify customer needs, that allows you to set appointments, that allows you to network and build face-to-face connections, and that allows you, even a social media script, what you're posting, what you're saying. Last night, I spent time approving social media posts for the next 2 weeks. Yes, let's say this. No, let's not say this. No, I'm going to teach this. Wait, we're doing this challenge. We need to make sure that this is the kind of post that we have out there. Every day, I'm not waking up saying, what should I post on social media? Those things are scripted 1 week, 2 weeks, sometimes a month in advance. Why? Because scripting allows for predictability, and it brings that type of structure, brings freedom. Because how many of you are sitting there every day going, what should I post? What should I post? What should I post? And while you're doing all that thinking, you aren't converting, you aren't doing the highest revenue producing activities that are for you. And as a result, you're slowing down your results. So here's some work that I want you to do. Number one, I want you to step into scripting mindset. What are the top 5 negative thoughts that you have around scripting? And what are the top 5 powerful thoughts that you have around scripting? Those of you that are live with us, jump into the group at moneymovementslive.com. If you're not a part of the community, all it's going to do is throw you into a Facebook join now, and we'll go ahead and approve you. But I want you to post, what are the top 5 negative thoughts that you have around scripting? Just go ahead and post there, like, what are the things that show up for you that make you go, I don't really know if scripting is for me. I don't really know if I feel really good about that. Or I don't, maybe I think that scripting does what? I'll sound robotic. I'll feel, I'll feel resistant. I won't remember. I don't have a strong memory. Come on, guys, there are hundreds of you that are live with us, and there are roughly about 10% of you that are posting. Don't make me do all the work this morning. Not fair, guys, not fair. I want you to jump in. I want you posting. I want you engaging. There are hundreds of you that are on, and I'm seeing 10% in the thread. Let's go ahead and let's play full out. Let's have a phenomenal time. Let's play full out. Don't make me do all the heavy lifting today. All right, here we go. So post the 5 things that you negatively associate with when it comes to scripting. In your homework today, I want you to look at the top 5 things that are negative thoughts around scripting, and then the top 5 power thoughts that as a result of today, you now think about scripting like, wow, okay, now I can see that that level of structure gives me freedom. All right. One of the things that I want you to think about is having words that have power. Here's one of our what we call credibility statements, which are no generalities and full of specifics when it comes to scripting. So here's one of the credibility statements that we used last year. Now, these numbers have since changed, but here's one of the credibility statements that we used last year. My name is Allyson Byrd, founder of Money Movers Academy, the #1 virtual training center for business leaders who desire to master earning 5 figures in a day. In the last 8 months, we've helped over 225 entrepreneurs to create $7.8 million in new revenue. So if I were to stand up at a networking meeting and I were to speak, I would just say, hi, good afternoon. My name is Allyson Byrd, founder of Money Movers Academy. We are the #1 who desire to master earning 5 figures in a day. In the last 8 months alone, we've helped over 225 emerging entrepreneurs create $7.8 million in new revenue. Now, how would I wrap that up? Before I sit down, notice that took me less than 22 seconds to say. So for those of you that you go in those 1-minute rounds and you go, you know, when you go to a networking meeting and they say you have 1 minute, or they sell a space for you to speak for 3 minutes and you think it's not enough, look at what I just said in 22 seconds. See that? And so then I would say, okay, from there I would say, you know, so I've given my whole credibility statement, and now I would invite people to come meet me. So I would say, you know, we've helped over 225 entrepreneurs to create $7.8 million in new revenue. That I'm here today is because we are looking for entrepreneurial leaders who desire to master 5 figures in a day. If you know someone that would like to learn our system and our process, come meet with me and I'll share with you what our virtual training system looks like. How that, like, very simple, another 4 seconds and I'm done. Another 4 seconds and I'm done. One of the things that I said every single day is, where does your bold money hide? And where are your revenue blind spots tucked? It's in over talking. Because you don't have a power script, now you over talk, you oversell, you over position, and people don't know why they should come to you. Credibility statements have these things. Who are you? What have you created, founded, or do you currently lead? Who is it for? And what results have you already generated, and in what time frame? Credibility statements. Who are you? What have you created, founded, or do you currently lead? Who is it for? What results have you already generated, and in what time frame? You got it? All right, Latanya, I see you saying, build more scripts is a breakthrough thought for me, putting together a plan that as soon as we wrap, to do that as soon as we wrap up today. That's awesome. I love D saying, scripting negatives for me include sounding salesy, being repetitive, wrong client needs, slow responses to clients, questions because not covered in scripts. Scripts may include outdated information. Well, it's up to you to keep it relevant, right? Lexi says, I feel like I would sound rehearsed, inauthentic. I do like scripting, but this is what I used to think. Kim says, won't sound genuine, won't remember it exactly, will sound canned. Belinda says, negative, sounding canned. How can it fit everyone? Don't know what to say that will work. Tamika says, I don't know where to start. I will sound robotic. I enjoy being flexible. I'm scared to stick with a script. I will relay the script horribly. Valerie says, it's not authentic. I won't remember all of it. Not enough time to write it all out. Unsure of what I would say, and I feel like I would sound salesy. Johnny says, I would sound fake. I would sound robo-like. Doesn't seem authentic. No room for change or compromise. Donna says, scripting takes a long time, and I don't know if I wind up saying something that is not so good for me. So you see how we can have a dialogue around scripting that doesn't give us that place and space of freedom. And I'm not trying to change how you think about it. I'm just trying to invite you to think about what you think about it. Because when you look at this, you can go, oh, well, this is why I haven't really been loving scripting. And then you go, wait a minute, Allyson, you're scripted all the time. I'm scripted right now. I am scripted right now. My script says, go to the Facebook group and read comments. I am scripted right now. Now, I read it with emphasis. I read it with excitement. Why? Because I feel excitement. I feel emphasized, you know, and I'm thrilled about being with you. What do I do when I want to read a script with a client? I say, I'm going to read a script with you. I mean, I was at lunch with someone at PNC the other day, the Power Networking Conference, who wanted to hire us. And I'm sitting at lunch and I said, let me open my phone so that I can go through the flow of dialogue that we need to have so I don't miss a beat. Like, I don't want to miss a step. And you know what they said? Okay. I mean, in no way were they like, oh my God, you're a loser. You don't know. You know, you're a loser, Allyson. You got to open your phone. You got to open your iPad. You got to, no, I need the structure so that I can have the freedom, so that I can get the information to my team, so that we can get working for you quicker, sooner, and faster. So Crystal says, impressive, Allyson. I would have never known. Well, because I've become a master at reading scripts, because I believe in scripts. I really believe that scripts add tremendous value. And I know the result that scripts can provide. And so I'm highly scripted on everything. Even having a difficult dialogue with someone, I'll write out a script and say, you know, I need to have a dialogue with you, and I'll show it to them. You know, I'll kind of turn it around and let them look and just go, I just have a couple of bullets that I just need to talk about, because if I don't, my emotions will overtake me. So it's nothing wrong with utilizing scripts so that you can be successful in every area of life. Here are some examples of credibility statements. I've worked with 2,000 businesses, you know, 500 Austin area businesses. You know, this we're looking at my local area. We've had over 18,000 customers. 96.5% of our customers purchase again. Companies like ABC Industries, you know, selected us. We are a preferred vendor for organizations like this. Well, what if I don't have those kinds of credible statements? Well, you got to create them. You got to go find them. It's why you have to start doing the business of business, even if you're doing the business of business at no cost. You're offering no-cost solutions. It's why I raised my hand to Best Buy. Excuse me, Best Buy, can I come train your people for free? It's why I went to State Farm and I trained for $1,500. Excuse me, State Farm, barely pay me anything, but give me a testimonial so that I can say I've trained Best Buy, I've trained State Farm. Excuse me, Cracker Barrel, can I come train your folks? I'm going to do it because, you know, it's why I coach my clients. Excuse me, Coca-Cola. Excuse me, Chick-fil-A. Excuse me, Mercedes, can I come in, can I do this, and can I make a difference for your folks, so that you can say companies like Mercedes, Chick-fil-A, Coca-Cola have hired me, and this is the work that we've done. Oh, by the way, we now have, when you add up how many people I trained at Coca-Cola, how many people I trained at Mercedes, how many people I trained at General Motors, then now each one of those classes, 300 people per location, I trained over 900 people in my new selling system of X, X, and X. You got to start knocking on some doors and building those credible statements. Allyson, how do I do that? I'm a life coach. Well, walk in a freaking Starbucks, get on meetup.com, start getting some women, start getting some men who need to hear from you, pull them together in a live training in the back room of a restaurant, put some appetizers on a table, get everybody tea and water, have a budget of $50, train them for 3 hours, get their testimonials, have a videographer there from a local college who you can pay a couple of $100 to make it happen, have a total budget under $200, $300, and now you can say, I've trained 15 people in this. You have the testimonials, you can get a video, you can break that up into YouTube videos, Instagram videos, you can Snapchat while you're there, you can leverage that for your scripting, I mean, there's so much that it's too easy to stay procrastinating, and it's too easy to say you can't make it happen. Get out and knock on some doors. Knock on some doors. It's why 15% of your success is predicated upon, can you do the work? Yeah, y'all can do it. But 85% of your success is predicated on, will you go out there and do it? When you look at massive thought leaders out there, Tony Robbins, Brendon Burchard, Jack Canfield, you start looking at it, and why is there so much space between where they are and where everybody else is because who's going to show up and be bold? Look at your industry. Who's showing up and being bold in real estate? Who's showing up and being bold in being a spa owner, a salon owner? Who's showing up and being bold in being a life coach? Who's showing up? Well, Marie Forleo has B School. Maybe I should never offer Unleashed. Maybe I should never do Unconference. Maybe I should never do, she opens up for B School every February. That's it. That's it. So the rest of the year, you don't hear anything else. You know, I think she just opened up a second program now that she has another coach leading. But you mean everybody's going to stop because one person has B School? Well, Maston Kemp has a personal transformation. Okay, Maston does events in Bali, starting to do more events over on the US side. And so now we're not going to do anything for personal development because, well, Oprah has life class. Oprah has life class on Seasons and it's on TV. People need you to do one-on-one work with them. Well, Robert Kiyosaki teaches real estate already. Robert Kiyosaki teaches real estate through through a tour that goes all around the world. And you mean to tell me you can't step in on that? Are you freaking kidding me, guys? Come on, y'all. We got to rise up. And we got to find our boldness and our tenacity and our exuberance and our excitement and our thrill around leveraging our skill, our knowledge, our talent, our education so that we can be seen, we can be heard, and we can get paid. Because the more we have, the more we're able to do in our world. Credibility statements are powerful. So now part of your homework from today's session is to create yours. Write 15 credibility statements for you and your business result. Now, this is a huge magnifying glass that if you cannot do this, you can go, uh-oh, okay. It just shines light on where you've been having a gap. One of the reasons that I host Unconference every summer in San Antonio, Texas, many of you are coming with us. And for those of you that have not registered, I am going to share how you can register for our event in July. But this type of training is what we do, where you're able to say, oh, wait a minute, this has been the missing piece of why I haven't been converting or why my conversion has been slow. When you look at your business cards, when you look at your flyers, when you look at your website, when you look at your sales pages, when you look at your scripting on social media, when you look at your social banners, when you look at your social squares, when you read your blogs, when you look on your LinkedIn, and you know, all of those different things are your credibility statements all over the place. When you look at what is your next best step, well, all of the leaders that are on, we have a mix of energy healers, sales experts, network marketers, copywriters, attorneys, retailers, image consultants, hairstylists, real estate professionals, event planners, business consultants, relationship marketers, authors, speakers, coaches, attorneys, copywriters. All walks of life are on with us, right? How many of you are ready for your bold money? How many of you are ready for more and want next? If you are, go ahead and post in the group right now. I want my bold money, hashtag bold money 16. I want my bold money, hashtag bold money 16. Tamika, I see you saying, ouch, ouch, ouch. You stepped all over my toes, my foot, my ankle. Oh my goodness. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was just trying to love you up into greatness. Just trying to love you up into greatness. Okay, Danielle says, I just had an experience with needing a script over the weekend. Will there be more on writing powerful scripts at Unconference? That is not one of our teaching segments, but we do have a resource for you, Danielle, that we'll share at Unconference. What a way to change our mindsets, Allison. This is why I'm here. I'm glad, Taj. I'm really, really, really glad that that's for you. Absolutely. All right, let's see. I'm kind of trying to go through some of your comments. All right, good stuff, you guys. I absolutely love it. Mm, I love what you say, Tony. Like, I'm an intuitive, and so you want to lean in on that intuition. And here's the thing: where you have to master as an intuitive is getting your intuition to show up early. So many of us are conditioned that our intuition needs to show up in the now, and actually our intuition can show up early. So you can start placing a demand for your intuition for what you need tomorrow to show up today. So that when you go to a business meeting tomorrow, you already have the knowledge ahead of time. That's really what intuition is. Many of us say intuition is in the moment and in the now. Intuition is actually to be able to have a preview. You get it? To be able to have a preview. So start placing a demand on your intuition so that it can show up early, so that you're not behind when you step on stage. You're not behind. So many times people go, it feels like you were talking to me. It was exactly what I needed because I placed a demand on my intuition so that I could know before I got there. All right, here's our day 5 challenge. Our day 5 challenge, guys, is we're going to sell something. Day 1, we asked 5 strangers for $1. You risked being vulnerable, being open, and being seen. It was all a setup to get you to day 5. All right. You started with asking, you're ending with asking. Day 2, you found someone to invest in and to pay it forward. Day 3, you invested in yourself, which, by the way, just so you guys know, the day 3 challenge was the least participated in day of the entire week. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. So, when it comes to people investing in themselves, particularly this group, that was a real lull for the entire week. When we said on day 3, we said day 1, go out, risk. That was a low participation day. Then we said go out and bless people, high participation day. Then we said invest in yourself, lowest participation. And then yesterday we talked to you about raising your prices, and we had kind of participation. So when I look at what's up with this community, that level of investing in yourself is a real weak muscle, a real weak muscle. And so I want to encourage you all to really consider why, when it comes into investing in yourself, buying that gym class, getting that thing that you need for yourself, stepping into a new suit or going and getting something that matters for you, why is that the greatest place of resistance in this tribe? I'm not saying across the globe. I'm saying in this tribe. I'm just wondering. So yesterday was raise your price, announce it, write a blog, write a newsletter to your group, or raise your game by saying, I'm going to recruit more. I'm going to change the type of homes I sell. I'm going to change the type of people that I build wealth for, whatever that may be. So today is now sell something. Today is outer game plus inner game. Get on the phone, go knock on the door, launch an online promotion, do something, but sell something today. No, I didn't say build something. I said sell something. So don't tell me I spent all day writing a sales page. No, ma'am. No, sir. Not all day writing a sales page. That's not what we're doing. Today, we're selling something. You raised your price yesterday. Today is the day now you go out and you close a deal. You put the responsibility as a business leader to do the highest revenue producing activity that only you can do, which is to close more business. I want you to pay attention to your emotions you're feeling right now, the internal dialogue and the desire that you have to protect yourself right now. Right now. I want you to video journal your experience on Facebook Live. Just so you guys know, we do not allow Facebook Live inside of the Money Mover group. So if you run a live Facebook, it gets deleted by our admin. But if you run a Facebook Live on your own Facebook, and then you share the link inside of the group, we do allow those posts, but we do not allow group members to do Facebook Live, just so you're aware. But you can run a Facebook Live, a Periscope, an Instagram, and you can post that inside of the group if you like, or you can use the hashtag BoldMoney16. You can use the hashtag BoldMoneyChallenge, hashtag BoldMoney. Our team will find you, will comment, we'll see that, and we'll be able to celebrate. And then identify what's showing up for you as a leader, personally and professionally. I want you to think about that. When you can identify what robs you internally from creating wealth and building a bridge from where you are financially to where you desire to be, you're 85% of the way there. We don't run from our awareness, we linger with it. Because the more we linger with it, the more we're able to understand why we are not where we desire to be. And we give ourselves the freedom to grow through our own awareness. We have to understand what we believe. We have to understand our association with belief around our identity, why we exist, our meaning, what's our meaning and our cause and our contribution in the world. Belinda, I see you saying, I feel guilty spending on me. It's easier to give than to receive. Well, that's a limiting belief that you own that you can actually begin to unlearn. Because I don't believe it's easier to give than to receive. Now, I'm not saying you have to think like me. I'm just saying, how is that serving you? And how is that serving the people around you who want to flex their giving muscle, but they can't because you may block or be in resistance to receiving? Tony, I see you saying, I never thought about using the intuitive gift to prepare me for next. It's, you know, one of the reasons. I was talking to one of our Money Mover leaders yesterday, and she was saying, one of the things I experience of you, Allyson, is you study, you study, you study, you study, you study. And I do. And one of the things that I do is I go deep into what is it that's going to be necessary for what's to come. If I'm only prepared in my now moments now, well, then I'll always be behind. Because I've got to wait on people to show up, and I got to wait on what they lived. And the reason that I trust in and that I lean on Spirit is because Spirit can guide me, because Spirit already knows what happened with Eileen. Spirit already knows what's going to occur with Cynthia. Spirit already knows what's going on in Trina and Kyra's life. Spirit already knows what's happening for Keena and for Roger and for Joe and for Trevor and for Shay and Rashida. Spirit already knows that. And so if I give myself the opportunity to get grounded, then I can hear, this is what they need. This is what will support Ruben. This is what will help Jerry. This is what's going to make a difference for April. This is what Carmen needs to understand. This is what Antoinette will need to receive. And when you get on in the morning, make sure you say this statement, because it's going to resonate with 10, 20, 30, 40 of the 300, the 400, the 500 folks that are live with you. This is going to make a difference for Anna, who's going to watch the replay. This is going to like all of those things, it's already ready. It's already there. So for those of you that feel often guided by spirit, place a demand. Place a demand so that you can learn early and you can hear early and you can rock it out, and you'll be absolutely amazing. Beliefs guide us in regard to what's possible, what's capable, and our worthiness. What's possible, what's capable, and our worthiness. Eileen says, my pride makes me hesitate to ask anyone for something. Well, Eileen, you got to release that. That's something that's showing up for you in this moment so that you can unlearn it. So I want everybody to take a moment right now. I'm going to give you just a bit of a breather before I wrap up our session today, and take a moment, and as a result of today's session, of what you've heard up until now, I've got about 8, 10, 12 more minutes to go. 8, 10, 12, 45 more minutes to go. No, I'm joking. But as you go through this, and as you've gone through today, I'm going to give you a minute to post what is the number one thing that as a result of this session, you've discovered, I need to unlearn. I get it now. I need to unlearn X. What is that one thing? Hashtag BoldMoney16. Go ahead and share it in the group now. All right, great. So when you think about that, think about what is your next best step? Like, what are the things that can open you up so that you can have greater for you, for yourself, for your life, for your business, for those that are connected and tied to you? And Cynthia says, I like giving more. It's really funny. I guarantee you guys, those are learned things. I mean, I love to give. I'm a huge giver. I'm sure many of you experience that from me. And I love receiving. And I had to work on that. I had to work on receiving, because so many people would tell me things like, you're hard to buy gifts for. I don't know what to get you. I don't, and I realized that it would place anxiety on the people that were in relationship with me. And so people are telling you in some kind of way, but you don't necessarily, you're not necessarily tuning into it. And now your ear can hear, and you can say, you know what, here's the things I really like to receive. And then people can go, oh, wow, that's really cool. You see? So Crystal says, I get it now. I need to unlearn thoughts on scripting. Belinda says, I need to unlearn my blocks to receiving what I deserve. All right. Valerie says, I need to unlearn being small and not playing full out. Tamika says, I need to unlearn my limiting beliefs that I'm not good enough and know that I'm good enough right now. Trina says, the number one thing I have discovered is that I need to unlearn is procrastination. It changes today. Listen, let me tell you, Trina, procrastination, that is one tough booger. If you have ever broken up with somebody who was persistent, who said, oh no, you gonna love me. They keep calling, they keep texting, they keep showing up at the door. That is procrastination. So you probably want to get some type of accountability system. You probably want to put some type of compensating strategy in place ASAP, because when I tell you, procrastination will hold on to you. It will. And you can break free. D says, I need to unlearn pride in asking when I ask others are blessed as well as me. Nadine says, I need to unlearn asking strangers, especially for money. Yes, I could if it's necessary. Well, here's the thing, Nadine. That's why scripting is going to be so imperative for you, because scripting builds rapport, and rapport moves someone from being a stranger to actually being in relationship with you. And so then it changes and you're not asking a stranger. Monica says, I need to unlearn doing everything alone. I can get more done using my team. Cynthia says, I need to unlearn always putting others before myself, and so many things that you've gone over. Monique says, I've discovered that I need to unlearn that I have to do it all on my own. I have to learn to reach out more in my moments of growth. Naturally, I become more introverted in those moments. Kim says, I'm still unlearning perfection. All right, so let's see. Taj says, I need to unlearn how I do business for others and continue to learn how to do and start doing business for myself. Eileen says, I need to unlearn living a mediocre life and live out my life boldly. Listen, revenue blind spots hide in not having a clear product roadmap, not having a selling plan, no selling system, a lack of automation, exhaustive sales processes. Revenue blind spots hide in our smallness. And when we feel small, we start over talking so that we can compensate for feeling little in ourselves. And then we start feeling defensive when people don't want to listen to us. And then our own fear of rejection shows up, and we start feeling uncertain. And so then we lack boldness, and we start finding ourselves retreating more in our world. Blind spots are deadly to our business. And when we don't know what we don't know, we set ourselves up for failure. And then we don't have a contingency for that failure. But the good news is that failure is feedback on how we grow and how we find the next level of our rise. The number one revenue blind spot that I experience from business leaders again and again and again, number one, is that their activity is too low. And so when your activity is too low, it's because you're shrinking, you're hiding, you don't have a pathway to your next. Post in the group right now, I want my bold money, hashtag bold money 16. I want my bold money, hashtag bold money 16. Okay. I'm really thrilled, guys. I've mentioned it probably a million times today. I've mentioned it to you a million times today. And that is that I want you here with us, learning with us, taking, Eileen says, I'm sold. I'm on my way to Unconference. Well, Eileen, my goal was not to sell you, but it definitely was to convert you. Drink the Kool-Aid, girl. Drink it. No. I want to invite you guys seriously to be with us, because look at the level of contagious activity that we have, and we're virtual. Like, you all are in a chat group. I'm in my home. You are all over the globe. You're in Virginia. You're in Washington. You're in Washington, D.C. You're in Baltimore. You're in Georgia. You're in Hawaii. Oh my God, those of you that are in Hawaii, what time is it there? Good Lord, it's the middle of the morning. You're in Germany. You're in Africa. I mean, you are all over the world. Kim, you're in California. It's what, 7 a.m. there. I think when we started, it was 5:30 6:30 a.m. there. I mean, when I think about where we are, and you're talking about bringing all of this energy to one place, and what happens for us when Danielle, you get to meet Cynthia, Kathy, you get to meet Monica, Rosalind, you get to meet Johnny, Johnny, you get to meet Dr. Joe Johnson, Dr. Joe Johnson, you get to meet Dayron, Dayron, you get to hang out with Sweeney, Sweeney, you get to hang out with Brandy, Brandy, you get to meet Crystal, and Crystal gets to hang out with Trina, and you guys get to have lunch together, and you guys get to come to my home and be together, and Mary, you're there, and Rosalind, you're there, and we're all there together. And what happens in the synergy of that? What do we create? What do we start understanding? Lexi, what do we start transforming in our reality? Valerie, what conversation will you have in my backyard with someone that you will say, on July 28th, 2016, my world forever changed? Monica, sitting at my dining room table, what dialogue will you have with Trevor Otts, or with Shay Brown, or with Dr. Fab Mancini? What dialogue will you have, Nadine, with Donna, that will make you go, oh my God, that's the breakthrough moment that I was looking for. That was it. Belinda, who will you sit and dialogue with where you will make a difference for them, and you will give yourself permission to receive them making a difference for you? Danielle, what is going to show up for you? Morning number 1, afternoon number 2. What will show up for you in those moments that say, my world will never be the same again? Brian, it's not about another conference. It's not about another PowerPoint. It's not about another downloadable file. It's not about another plane ride. It's about connection. And it's about who you meet and why you meet them, and how necessary it is, Kim, for you to connect with Sydney, and for Sydney to connect with Kina, and Kina to connect with Cora, and for Cora to connect with who is it that will come? Who is it that will show up? Kyra, whose life will you make a difference for? Because you help them find and rediscover and own the next level of their rise, because you said yes. I'm inviting you guys to think differently around why you attend. See, you're powerful, you're passionate, you have a bias for action, and you have a track record of success. But what I know, is that you're craving something more. Our most powerful life experiences take place in the context of immersion. And that's because 3 of our primary forms of learning are thinking, feeling, and doing: mind, heart, and body. And all 3 sources of information, ourselves, others, and our environment, are involved when we're immersed. So this 2.5-day intensive that we're going to have isn't all about information. It's about a learning experience focused on taking action, and we'll spend our time dealing with real business issues, your issues. So be prepared, guys. I just want you guys to be prepared for real talk, authentic problem solving, and at all costs, you cannot allow fear to stand in your way. Super VIP starts in my home at 4 o'clock. July 28th, and then VIP starts at 9 p.m. July 28th at the VIP party. You all don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss getting to meet each other. Jamie to meet Kyra, Kyra to meet Danielle. You don't want to meet that. You don't want to miss that. So there are 3 options on how you could come. You could bring a group of folks, 5 of you could come for $3.99, which means that's roughly $80 a ticket to attend. That's insane. You could buy your own exclusive seat at $199, or you could come super VIP and you can have everything that you need under one package. Your lunches, your dinner is provided. You have dinner here in my home. You get your own private mastermind the day before, your unconference t-shirt, your bottled water, your swag bag, your unconference yearbook, which is amazing. This is the first year that we've offered a yearbook, and I'm so excited about it. So you'll get the unconference pictures, you'll get all the captions. I mean, it's just going to be so incredibly fun. But not only that, it's going to be meaningful. The dialogue is meaningful. The content is meaningful. The relationships are meaningful. Your presence is meaningful. We've opened up enrollment at unconference2016.com. Here's why we miss. Here's a warning for you guys. There are a few dangers that block breakthroughs when we come together in groups. A few dangers, and they are: we miss out on hearing truth, because as the higher we rise, we stop being open to learning in groups. We start wanting to learn on our own because we don't want other people to learn what we're learning when we're learning it, or to know that we don't know that in that moment, and we want to be rock stars. As we start to get bigger in the world, we say, I don't really need help. Well, guess what? You don't. You don't need help. You're one of the highest achieving people that you know, and you definitely don't need support. So you are missing out on your own very own support team, though. So you don't need random support, but you do need a support team. What I want you to get is that success has a cost. And the challenge facing high achievers is that their game is so much bigger than that of anyone around them. And so they play at a level at which most people cannot even see how much they are holding back from what is really possible. The biggest problem with success is success. Because what helped you get to your current level of success is precisely what will hold you back from getting to your next level. I'm here as your coach, not to teach you how to play the game of success, but how to dominate in it. When you work with me, your results are never normal and they're never reasonable. And guess what? That's the point. I'm not interested in normal, and I sure as hell am not interested in reasonable. I'm looking for the leaders that are non-negotiable, extraordinary, unreasonable, and unprecedented. Here's why you want, one of the main reasons you want to come to Unconference. I'm often the only person in my client's world who is not here to please them. I won't sugarcoat it. I won't let your fears hold you back. I won't believe your stories, and I won't buy into your bull. I just won't. And I'll tell you how it is, and I'll respect you, and I'll honor your thinking, and I'll say what no one else in your world is bold enough to say, and I'll do that from an authentic and a vulnerable place. The more success you have, the more money you have, the greater the pressure to keep up with that level of success. And the barrier to start each project becomes unbearably high. And you start going, oh my God, what am I gonna do for the next win? What am I gonna do to make it even bigger? It's kind of like one of those things, if you've ever heard anyone say to someone, maybe say to your husband or say to your wife, oh man, that was a big anniversary party. What are you going to do to top it next year? It's like they just immediately apply more pressure. Well, what if we just did the same thing next year? What if we just had fun? Or, you know, what if I didn't have that pressure and I just thought every year I get to find a new way to celebrate? Like, we put that undue pressure on ourselves, and we do that often with success. So for those of you that are super VIP, as I've stated, you'll arrive. You need to arrive by 1 p.m. so that you can be here, because the bus will pick you up at 3:15, bring you over to my home. For those of you that are VIP, you need to arrive, I would say, no later than 5. I said that the mixer starts at 8, but we moved that to 9. I didn't change this slide. Forgive me for that, guys. A sneak peek on our training topics. I talked a little bit about profit hacking, using stages and live events and platforms to build your 7-figure empire. And I'm also going to talk to you about Netflix money, how entrepreneurs can start to master content marketing, paid traffic, and social media for unlimited and on-demand income. How many of you are Netflix users? And you're not paying attention every month to that money coming out of your account. Many of you haven't built masterful content that can allow people to be served just like Netflix. And every month they're paying you over and over and over again. Listen, you are leaders that are genius and you thrive in being exceptional. My commitment is to support you to begin shattering your limits and transcending your fears. And get this, break from the cult called average. I want you to be done with that. I want you to be done with that. All right, we close out the event with a rooftop white party, so go out and buy your white now. It's going to be so much fun on Saturday evening. Everyone wearing white, rocking to the old school jams, having so much fun. It's like a big family reunion, everyone. I mean, it really, really, really is. I think it's like a family reunion. I'd love for you to go to YouTube right now and snag a link to one of your favorite family reunion songs. Post that YouTube in there, and I want you to post hashtag Unconference 2016, hashtag family reunion, hashtag bold money 16. That's 3 hashtags. It's not too much, guys. Hashtag Unconference 2016, hashtag family reunion, hashtag bold money 16. What's your favorite family reunion song? I think mine is probably Frankie Beverly. It would have to be Frankie Beverly is like my favorite. Let me see. Let me see what my favorite. I'm gonna have to play a little bit of it for you. What's my favorite? I'm trying to think. We have, I'm trying to look for mine so I can play it for you guys. Hang on. I'm going to find it. Oh, you know what it is? Okay, I just remembered it. Here it is. I just found it. Okay, hold on. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Can you guys hear that on my speaker? Oh my God, I love that family reunion song. Is that not at everybody's family reunion? Oh my gosh, that's Frankie Beverly, Before I Let Go. Oh man, that is the family reunion song. So I want you to think about all the different people that you've been seeing on here, you know, Antoinette, Danielle, Lexi, Dr. Joe, Dayron, you've been seeing Roger, you've been seeing Johnny, you've been seeing Tony, you've been seeing Kim, and you've been seeing Nisi and Dr. Samantha and Brandy Ray. And I mean, I just want you to think about that. Can you imagine all of us having so much fun? I mean, guys, I see you, Keena B. I mean, think about the fun that we're going to have, because I've named it Unconference because a lot of conferences kill you by PowerPoint and kill you by presentation. And I'm sure you can tell I'm just not that kind of chick. That's not the kind of fun, you know, that we're gonna have. Keena, I just saw you put Golden Time of Day. That's one of my favorites too. I love that. I could dance to that all night long. Anything Frankie Beverly, I could dance to. You guys post your favorite family reunion song. Coming to Unconference 2016. All right, I'm going to stop dancing, y'all. I'm going to stop dancing. Super VIP, you are going to go into our Unconference U, which is our exclusive pre-conference mini-series with our Money Mover Master Coaches. Oh, and by the way, I am one of those Money Mover Master Coaches, jumping in, playing full out, setting you guys up to win. Listen, I want you winning before you even get here. How many conferences have you ever been to that start weeks ahead and say, we want you to win now? Valerie, I see you posted Sister Sledge pledge. We are family. Kyra, I see you posted Stevie Wonder, My Eyes Don't Cry. Ooh, I see we're going to have to prepare the band for you guys. This is just so much fun because I want you all to understand that when you look at business, it's about three things from my perspective: your profit, your play, and your purpose. Your profit, your play, and your purpose. I believe the more profitable you are, the more freedom you have around play in your life, and the more purpose you will find. Mother Teresa says we have callings within callings, and the more that we step, or Mother Teresa said, I guess I should say, and the deeper that we step into our calling, we will find new levels of our calling. We will find new levels. And so that allows us the opportunity to find more of ourselves as we step into greater activity. You get that? Danielle says, I've never been to a family reunion, so you guys will just have to be my money mover family. Ah, never been to a family reunion. Well, we will be your first. We will pop your family reunion cherry. All right, Rosalind says, oh, Jill Scott, family reunion. I love that. Yes, 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 yes. I love that song. I love that too. All right, guys, if you want to create your destiny using the business you've selected as your financial vehicle, I challenge you to attend Unconference 2016. I want you here. I think it's going to be one of the most extraordinary experiences. Dr. Roger Silvera says, El DeBarge is in the house, AKA me. I am laughing so hard. Are you bringing your fiance, Roger? You need to bring Amanda down here. She needs to come hang out with us. I believe that you are leaders that want it all. I believe that when you look at the 4 quadrants of life, when you look at the health of your spirituality, how you acknowledge spirit and how you create harmony for your soul, when you look at the harmonious nature of your body and your physical wellness, when you look at your relationships, relationship with self and relationship with others, and how all 3 of those reflect to our final quadrant, which is our relationship with our money, I believe you are leaders that want it all. If that's you, post in the group right now, Allison, that's me. I want it all. Hashtag bold money 16. Look at this slide. On the left is no picture, but on the right is a testimonial, and this could be a testimony that you have, and you can fill in the blanks. I attended Unconference in July 2016, and by April 2017, I generated nearly X. What could that number be? I filled in a random number of $79,643 in one revenue stream. Could that occur for you? Could you be so enlightened? Could you be so clear? Could you be so directed? Could you be so powered? Could you be so understood that you could walk away and you can start creating the revenue that you both desire and you deserve? Your super VIP seat is valued at over $4,583. And guess what? It's only $499. Listen, you don't have to worry about your lunches, your dinner for the first 2 days taken care of, drink once you come to the after party. I mean, all the different things that you need, your money mover t-shirt, your swag bag, you get a private mastermind with me. I mean, so many different things. I want you here. I want you here in my home. I've never had a group of clients in my home before. I'm just thrilled, if you cannot tell, to be able to host you. It's very different, I think, than any other conference that I've heard before that's so pitched on content, 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 content. We have phenomenal content, and we have great relationships, and we have great activities, because entrepreneurship, I believe, is fun, and it's so much about freedom. If you enroll now, you can get your VIP ticket at only $199. Your VIP ticket at only $199. Everyone at Unconference is VIP. Everyone is highly important, highly necessary, and everyone fits. Listen, go to unconference2016.com and be here. I want to close out with the story of the little engine that could, because I started with it. The engine breaks down, and the engine is on his way to take toys across a mountain, right? So the engine's on his way. I can never tell this story enough. And the engine breaks down, and the first train that shows up says, I would never help you. Do you know who you are, and do you know who I am? It was a robust, gorgeous train, but the little engine is what broke down. And The train says to the engine, this is how I imagine the dialogue would be in 2016. Have you seen yourself? You ain't rocking Tom Ford, Louboutin. You ain't got the right haircut. You ain't have the right suit. You don't have none of the stuff that says I even want to be with you. Don't you realize who I am and what I would do? Like, basically the train demoralizes the other engine and says, you're not big enough for me to help. You don't have a name. You don't have a title. I'm not interested. And leaves. And the engine sits there and says, wow, all I'm trying to do is be about purpose. All I'm trying to do is get these toys to the other side. And he sits there and says, there's got to be a way. The next engine drives up and he says, can you help me? Excuse me, can you help me? And the train that rides up says, oh, I don't think I can help you. He says, why? I'm not good enough. And he says, yeah, you are. All I need to do is connect to you and we'll get these toys over to the other side. The kids are waiting. All they need to, no, I'm not good enough. I don't think I have enough. I don't think I have enough energy. I don't think I have enough. I don't look right. And that engine is just has so many inhibitions and playing so small. And the engine finds itself trying to persuade. Yes, you can. Come on. We can do it. We can do it. No, I don't think I can. And that engine rides away. How many of you guys can relate to being an engine that needs support? You need an answer. You need a roadmap. You need guidance. And someone comes by and judges you and says, you're not good enough. Or someone comes by and says, I'm not enough. And so you find yourself either fighting to be seen and accepted by someone who says you're not good enough, or fighting to persuade someone who's playing small that they can play bigger. But what you really need is the third engine that shows up. And the third engine says, hey, what's up? What's going on? And the engine says, man, I'm broke down. I'm trying to get to these kids. He said, what? You trying to get to kids? Ah, man. Well, listen, why don't we hitch our wagons together? And I think we can do it. And they get their wagons together and they go, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. You guys are looking for leaders who are not going to judge you or even play small in judgment of themselves. Money Movers is about people who don't insult ourselves or insult the divine who created us with small thinking and safe living. We go, what you need? Let me hitch my wagon onto you and let's do something we've never done so we can have an ultimate reality that we've never had before. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Unconference2016.com is the place where you come, where you fit. You're necessary, you're masterful, and the world is over ready for you. I cannot wait to see you guys. I'm so excited. Unconference 2016, the biggest family reunion where virtual meets reality. Unconference 2016. I'll see you guys there. Have an amazing day, everyone.